Today, I wanted to jump into some early theory crafting and talk about which of these regions might carry the most points in this league. I think if we take a look at the previous league's points per region breakdown, we will be able to establish a general trend here as to which regions give you the most points and also which regions' tasks are easier to finish than others. Let's go ahead and start off by talking about the new region that is coming in this league, and that is Varlamore. With even more content planned to be coming to this region before the launch of leagues, I think it is obvious when I say that Varlamore is going to be a must pick. However, I could be wrong here, and it might end up being a total flop when it comes to points. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to be leaving this area out. Let me know down in the comments if you guys think that Varlamore will make it into one of the top regions, but let's go ahead and start off by looking to previous leagues, specifically how the points per region played out, so we can better guess what is coming at us with this league. Starting off, we have the original Trailblazer League. This was the first one that had region selections. Everything was on the table here except for Karen. The top 3 regions in this league ended up being Mauritania, Kandarin, and the Wilderness, each having over 10,000 points. The bottom 3 were Tiranwin and Asgarnia with just over 9,000 points, and then the Desert with a staggering 7,850 points. The next league that split the regions was Trailblazer Reloaded, and it is here where we are going to get into the nitty-gritty, not only on the points per region, but also what regions' tasks were a nightmare to complete. But starting at the top 3 regions for this league, we again had Mauritania coming in first, second was Karen, and then the Desert was third. Each of these were within just a few hundred points of each other. There in fact was not a standout region that was terrible in this league like the Desert was in the first Trailblazer, but the bottom 3 here were Kandarin, Tiranwin, and Asgarnia, each with under 10,000 points. I want to dig a little bit deeper into the top 3 though and see if any of them had easier tasks than the others. Just to start off, looking at this, we see that Mauritania only had 102 tasks that gained it the most amount of points, compared to Karen in the Desert, which had 120 tasks each. There was also a total of 6 master tasks in Mauritania, listing those off being completing the Theater of Blood combat achievements, equipping a scythe, a nightmare staff, full Justicar, full Inquisitor, as well as completing the Hallowed Sepulchre in 6 minutes and 30 seconds. And to be honest, most of these sound painful. As a matter of fact, less than 1% of people completed equipping full Inquisitor, and just over 1% equipped a Nightmare Staff with an orb. So I think it's easy to say here that the total number of points in Mauritania was inflated a bit, because even looking at the elite tasks in this region, they were more or less the same level of pain. You had stuff like equip every set of Barrow's armor, and I mean, even with boosted drop rates, are you really going to be grinding out that much Barrows inside of leagues? I mean, only 4.3% of people actually did. So while on the surface this might look like an excellent place for points, I think it ended up turning into a time sink more than anything else. However, jumping into Karen, things do not get much better. The 3 master tasks you have to choose from here were equipping a twisted bow, equipping full Ancestrals, and then completing the Chambers of Xeric combat achievements, with the completion rate on those tasks not being much better. The Desert's master tasks were the Tombs of Amasket achievements, equipping the Tumican Shadow, Osmanton's Fang, full Masori, and then to top it off, equipping full Infinity. I think overall, if we were to take somebody from each region in the last season, that it would be the Desert and Karen that ended up getting more points for people because of the easier to complete tasks. Looking into the Desert, some of the elite tasks were as simple as casting Ice Barrage or smithing rune dart tip. That's not to say that Mauritania didn't have its easy to complete elite tasks as well, but when it came to time spent completing those tasks, I think that the Desert and Karen had it beat, because looking into Karen, some of the easy elite tasks there were like burn 200 redwood logs and chop 500 redwood logs, cooking 100 anglerfish. The list of elite tasks inside of those regions is much less time consuming than it was in Moritania. With the main point that I'm trying to get at here being that even if you are in a region that was #1 in points, like Mauritania, you could have easily walked out of that region with less points than somebody in one of the bottom 3 regions. I'm curious to see here if I filter this task list by least completed, which region is going to end up having the most. And after about an hour of sorting this out, when it comes to tasks that were completed by less than 10% of people that picked that specific region, we had Karend at 42 tasks, the desert at 29 tasks, and Mauritania at 34 tasks, meaning 90% of people did not complete 42 tasks in Karend, 90% of people did not complete 29 tasks in the desert, or 34 tasks inside of Mauritania. These were a range of different levels of tasks, so I don't know what those numbers add up to points wise. I don't even know if it's important to the overall point I'm trying to make here, which is when it comes to your region choice inside of leagues, picking a region with the most points could end up ruining your experience. I remember in Trailblazer Reloaded, I picked the desert on my first character, and I was just bored out of my mind over there. So much, in fact, that I made a new character and played through on that, even though nothing was inherently wrong with the desert. Let me know down in the comments if you have already locked in your region choices, but that is all that I wanted to break down inside of this video. I hope you guys all have an amazing day. I'm out.